because you make revisions to a policy or legislation, taxation policy retroactively, does not mean that it was poorly implemented. What this signifies is that the government, the monetary policy that it's implementing, taxation policy that it's implementing, is the government is analyzing what is the real life impact and adjusting based on that. It is using what it knows as a way to guide policy going forward. As you mentioned, the Congress Party had envisioned GST, but they never got down to work to figure out how they could actually implement it and didn't have the guts to do it, right? If you start at a base point and refine slowly, as you're arguing the government did, it is not a botched implementation. That is how you get to good policy. And we've seen.
ओके हाँ चलो चलो ठीक है उसको नहीं आती यार कोई बात नहीं तो हिंदी क्यों लाते हो हाँ ठीक है यार बोलने दो हाँ कोई बात नहीं उसको नहीं आती अरे नहीं यार उसको नहीं आती ऐसा नहीं करते उसको नहीं आती नहीं बोल पाता उसमें ये तो सर देखो डिसरिस्पेक्ट आती है नहीं यार जब तुम बात होती है सारे बोलते गो बैक टू योर कंट्री यू शुड आल्सो गो बैक टू योर TJ could you please stop don't do this he is arguing and we should listen to him अपनी बात रख रहे हैं अच्छा जय बिल्कुल हाँ तो हाँ जय श्री राम yes, go on. So see, have you heard your argument? Your argument is that basically is that it is not a bot. Don't come down to his level. ये तो जादू हो गया उनके मुंह में रोटी का टुकड़ा था जब तक वो नीचे गया ना जब तक उन्होंने काम करके डीजे को वापस दे दिया डीजे जी okay चलो that was fun okay so anyway so हाँ बात रख दी आपने तो उसमें ऐसा है कि देखिए ये बहुत इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इसलिए था कि गवर्नमेंट के पास सारे इनपुट्स ऑलरेडी थे या होने चाहिए थे और होते ही हैं इट वाज गवर्नमेंट का होता क्या उस गवर्नमेंट के साथ उस समय एजे था अरविंद जेटली है ना उस गवर्नमेंट के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या था कि इट वाज एसेंशियली एलिटिस्ट एंड एरोगेंट वो लिया था ना कांग्रेस से आई एम नॉट डिफेंडिंग कांग्रेस वाज आल्सो लाइक दैट बट कांग्रेस के साथ ये था कि बिकॉज मनमोहन सिंह वाज देयर पढ़ने लिखा आदमी था वही मूव टू इंस्टीट्यूशंस one great thing about relying on institutions is that they give you real feedback because they have all kinds of mechanisms to gather data like NSOs national samples of your population etc. Now what this government did was and that was pointed out right in the beginning even before that midnight celebration lots of economists have already said that GST in the manner in it is being implemented is going to be disastrous given that this country is already in a severe monetary shock. So it was earlier 15 lakhs, then they reduced the slab to something else, and they are again reducing or increasing or something. And they're constantly doing it like this. This is one of the points. There are various other points. Like for instance, 28%, 18%, 10%, that has been constantly moving without any economic rationale, right? Normally what happens is that any good economy, any stable economy of the size of India, is a very large economy. So what they do is that they give the investors, foreign investor, domestic investor, a certainty of a path of the next about 5 to 10 years. So that they can, because the huge investments are involved. So somebody makes a huge investment, he knows, okay, for the next 5 years on this product, 18% will be the GST on it, and therefore pricing and other things they calculate. If you keep on changing, that is a very bad thing to do for the investor. Investor doesn't know whether to invest here or not because every 6 months they change it. And that is what has happened with the GST. And that is the reason why much of the FDI that has come into the country has gone into already existing enterprises, not into new enterprises. Therefore, not generating new employment, not generating new goods and services, not creating new technological possibilities. That is one another spin-off of a bad implementation GST. but that वो भी चलो खत्म हो गया है ना. Okay, all done and dusted. They finally somehow won the elections. Now India is doing well. Now there's no doubt about it. My worry is for the future.
Before you move on to the next topic,
हाँ बोलो.
if you could extrapolate on 2 points, the first that were left out of GST. The first one is how, in the manner of the technical specifications in which that GST was to be submitted, was changed more than 50 times as long as I followed. In the manner in which GST is to be submitted, the GST returns have to be submitted to the government. Changed more than 50. I think it would have gone substantially higher now. It was changed more than 50 times. First, it was you have to submit every quarter. Then it was done to every month, and
then there was either quarter or monthly. You see, and that is continuing. Even now, some people say that we will submit only quarterly. Others say we will submit monthly. जैसे कि आप दोनों कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. And so there's a chaos. And that chaos.
The point is, how much of it was a shock to the SMEs, small scale enterprises, small and medium enterprises, which employed 87% population of India. 87% population of working population of India was employed in small and medium scale enterprises. When you implement something is GST, which is basically rationalizing all the taxes, you are effectively giving an edge to the corporate which has higher corpus or higher capital available.
Right.
The shock of that.
लेकिन भाई राजा, मुझे ना उस बात पे बार बार हंसी आ रही है. वो टीजे कहाँ है यार? I'm sorry, but that was fucking hilarious.
सर कर्मा
हाँ जी.
बेकार में हम लोग इसको डिफाइन करने लगे.
अच्छा, मैं खुद बड़ा गिल्टी फील कर रहा था यार. मुझे लगा कि यार बताओ
टीजे भी तो अपने आप को ऐसा खुला समझ रहा था कि कोई वापस उसको दे ही नहीं सकता.
नहीं, वो तो ठीक किया उसने. लेकिन वो पूरा एपिसोड मुझे बार बार याद आता है ना. बड़ी हंसी आती.
और इस नाम से तेरा दिन का तो नाम भी नहीं है.
कैसे इसको गान का मानो तो पता नहीं कैसे
go there. Let's not go there. Also, okay. So I'm sorry for being full. Yeah. Full continue, please. तो मेरा जो concern जो है ना अभी, concern is now more on the future. You know that in the coming years, जिस प्रकार से हम जा रहे हैं, the country has a lot of money undoubtedly. Today, if they decide, they can give 50,000 rupees to every month.
I posted this link from the World Bank referring to the ease of doing business report. This is from 2018. And it does cite that the GST was a major contributor for the vastly improved ease of doing business in India.
See, World Bank and IMF, frankly speaking, their policy recommendations, they have Indian economic elite or economic policy makers have never relied on them, and it usually with a pinch of salt, and if not totally ignored it.
Fool loves IMF apparently.
Sorry?
Fool loves
nobody. Yeah, right. So we don't really take it very seriously. It is for Pakistan and Bangladesh to take it seriously. We don't. Ease of doing business, as we see it, as Indians, as even the pro-government people say it, we are nowhere. We have to go. बहुत काम करना बाकी है इसमें. हमारा बहुत ही बुरा हाल है.
I think the thing that this government did well is prioritizing SEZs. SEZs have really kind of made investment into India a lot easier.
No,
This government
नहीं
called
actually
I mean,
exactly
NMZs it came up, but still the
Ah.
rate system didn't go. That's why the NMZs never.
Yeah, that's a huge problem actually
Uh,
with the whole concept of this. Like in fact, more successful were the earlier models, Mr. Raza, if you remember.
yeah.
Like the Daman, Diu, and etc. That is where this they made it tax-free havens for 7 years. So the corporate knew for 7 years they don't paying taxes. They happily invested in those areas. So earlier possible, but these ones are unfortunately terribly implemented. Either government is not in control of them, or the government is not aware of it.
Somehow this government is very much against giving those such tax rebates. No state has been awarded the special category, something like that, which
Yes.
They have,
which is very surprising, when the world was buoyant about India, it's right time to lure them, bhai. I mean, सारी दुनिया देख रही थी India is a rising story. Okay, fine, give them tax rebate, let them come in.
No, but the thing is, I think they have, as long as there's, for example, like with iPhone, right? Apple wanted to enter the Indian market for a long time, but the problem was that all the manufacturing was in China, and one of the major things I think the Modi government did a great job in is saying, hey, look, we'll give you these tax rebates, we'll give you these incentives if there's a certain level of value added, manufacturing that is taking place. And we see that more and more with with iPhones. As long as there's a certain, I'm just making up a number, but let's say $2 billion value.
I don't know if you know this statistic, Nameless, that India is paying. I mean, Indian government is paying out more than it is earning per phone to create those jobs.
Yeah, that's going to happen for the short term, right? You're going to have to, in order to get investment into the country.
Mr. No Name, Mr. No Name, that is the general story. I tell you what. See, I'm not going to name, but the person is on Clubhouse and occasionally comes. And he said here, right in front of me, he said that he's a BJP guy. And he said, we have done a terrible job of making India. He said, my client came and he said he wanted to set up some new company. And he said he came he was asked to fill a form. And he said the form was in the form of a book of 180 pages. Now this is the element of bureaucracy, and he was ranting and raving mad.
I'm talking about glitch. I'm talking about something completely different. I'm not talking about the bureaucracy. I'm just saying that the fact that the Modi government has given a pathway for major tech companies like Apple. Samsung had a presence in India before that, but 25% production from India. As a result of a scheme.
Wait. Mr. Nonin Saab, this has been going on past 20 years, right? We have been inviting foreign companies to manufacture in India. No, it has not worked except for a few cosmetic things. Nothing has worked. For instance, Redmi, Xiaomi. Wait, I'm giving an example. For instance, Xiaomi makes all its phones in India. It's probably made in India. All that happens is they Gurgaon and four other centers. That's what they claim, okay, and that is the condition. So otherwise, Chinese products are banned. So what they do is that they bring the parts and assemble here, right? And in terms of, I'm telling you, see, I'm not saying nothing has happened. Of course, India is a growing story, and even if I become the prime minister, it will keep growing despite my failures and foolishness, right? So I'm not saying that India is doing it, and nobody can stop it. India has a destiny because it X number by X reasons. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we have missed on a huge opportunity. When the world was going gaga over India's story कि भाई इंडिया का जमाना है, ये है, वो है, हर जगह पे जहाँ भी आप देखो, all over the world, we missed that opportunity. So a country like, I'm talking, say 10 years back, a country like Vietnam, which is not even a democratic country, I mean, like Vietnam, Thailand, they can cash on it. Malaysia, they can cash on it. We couldn't. We still are not able to. iPhone is a very cosmetic kind of thing. Real manufacturing. Wait.
Even Tesla.
Tell me.
Semiconductor semiconductor manufacturing. Tesla Motors is
Where? Name the place where it's semiconductor manufacturing.
There's a plant being made in Telangana. There's a plant being made in Karnataka and Gujarat and Maharashtra.
You're talking to your ass.
I can get you this.
The document has not been signed, damn it. How can the plant be manufactured? They're talking about it.
The construction has
Total
started.
only 4.
And right outside Hyderabad, the construction has started.
No.
Yes,
Nothing
yes.
of that sort.
Oh, come
Nothing
on.
of that sort.
Okay, I'll give you this
Tesla is
information.
Who gives you these stories? Who gives you
Tesla is
no,
still counting
this
for
is-
a play.
This is TMSC.
Exactly.
This is TMSC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. What do you mean?
Arey Baba, Taiwan, you know what it is? The biggest chip manufacturer in the whole world. You understand that?
Yeah. So what?
Why the hell would they come to me? It's a strategic resource. A strategic resource. That is why the whole world is fighting over Taiwan. Damn it! Why will they come to India? Why will they come to India? Who told you these things? यार कहाँ से लाते हो भाई ये खबर?
Okay, hold on. Okay, let me give you this.
अरे यार भाई मैं बता रहा हूँ की बात है कोई हाँ ये अरे बात ही नहीं हुई है यार एमओयू नहीं साइन हुआ है क्या बात कर रहे हैं यार वो टेस्ला को बोल रहे हैं उसका एमओयू साइन हुआ नहीं बोला प्लांट बन ये नथिंग यू कंज्यूमिंग फ्रॉम बैड सोर्सेस एक जनरल थंब रूल फॉर एवरीबॉडी मैंने जब भी सोशल मीडिया में कोई आप रोल देखे ना तो आप प्लीज उसका देखें ये सोर्स क्या है it should be a newspaper of repute or any newspaper of anywhere in the world because newspapers have to go through 3 tiers of things because otherwise the registration will be cancelled. Don't go over blogs or all. Sorry.
Forget semiconductor manufacturing. India doesn't have a proper facility to test semiconductor manufactured chips.
Exactly, and the only one that we have in Mohali that caught fire, that is a 150 nm or maybe 200 nm. Where the world is talking about 4 nm, 4 nanometer. So
most
we have one more
chips
in
are not the small. Most in-demand chips are not in the small nanometer fabrication range. Most in-demand chips are actually the larger ones that you use in, vehicles and other less sophisticated.
Those are 20 technology.
Chips that the latest ARM architecture chips that are going to be in the latest iPhone, right? The demand for chips.
Name me one IC, one chip, one microprocessor that is made in India.
This is what I'm telling you is that the construction is on for this.
Don't tell me those 5 timer chips and all. No, don't say that. Right?
So,
anyway.
But now you're shifting.
All capacitors are resistant.
But you're shifting the goal.
No, I'm not. You said
that the argument is whether or not there is a plant that is under construction, semiconductor plant under construction. The fact of the matter is, yes, it is.
Mr. Nolim.
If you say that, if you say the fabrication, the nanometer, the fabrication amount, so not the amount, what is I forget the word, but the
anyway, I know.
Right. If you say that,
architecture.
yeah.
No. I'll tell you what happens. I'll tell you what happens.
3 millimeters.
I'll tell you.
5 nanometer, etc.
No. Understand? There's one design, right? Then there's a fabrication. There are only 3 or 4 fab units in the entire world, right? Samsung has one where it makes Eximor things. Intel has it where it makes Intel thing. Part of it is made in China also. There's one in China which makes FTK and there's a Taiwan thing. Taiwan is the biggest one which supplies 90%. India's only semiconductor chip was made way back, I think 3 decades back in Mohali, which had caught fire and it was something like 200 nm, right? So it was basically makes those small things. 5 February time until you come for 5 rupees a piece. Anyway, the story is not that. Understand fundamentally we are not trying to defeat you, right? There's no war going on. We're trying to understand. So please, when Raja says something, I say something, Fool says something, don't take it like we are against you. No, nobody's against anybody. We just try to understand. Yeah.
I understand.
No, because the way you argue with a certain anxiety. Don't have that anxiety, right?
No, not so thing. No anxiety. I think that there's no other desire other than just to discuss the economic realities. excuse me, whatever the case may be. But I think the point I was making here is that you guys seem to not really agree that when it comes to, as far as manufacturing is concerned, that it is Make in India. And I'm not even talking about Make in India necessarily at this point. What I'm saying is that the fact that iPhones, which were once almost entirely manufactured in China. Barwa aa gaya ye. Johnny.
Anyways, okay, continue.
Excuse me.
So see what the point that point that I'm saying I very successfully put, which most of us agree, is that this government has wasted major opportunities from 2014 onwards till today, where it could have utilized. Now there may be problems. Obviously, government doesn't want India's harm. Government wants to do better and wants to prove itself.